Okay.
because I've been a skeptic about how far it would go.
Sure.
And your latest releases of software are really incredible. So
Yeah,
I
thank you.
encourage people to try them. As a big question, and in that vein, coming in the next decade, what do you think is going to be the greatest advances in technology that will affect people's lives? What should they be expecting to see here from technology in their lives?
Okay. Well, I don't want to blow your minds, but AI is going to be big. I feel confident in that prediction. Well, but the funny thing is, if you go back even 5 years ago, certainly 10 years ago, if 10 years ago, even 15 years ago, I was saying AI is going to be like this massive thing that has deep super intelligence, smarter than the smartest human. People thought I was kidding. And I thought that's ridiculous. There's no way a computer is going to be smarter than a human and be able to do all these complicated things. And now, the latest AIs are able to pass complicated tests better than most humans. Like they can pass the medical test better than like 80% of doctors or something. They can AI can diagnose radiography better than most people who've been doing it their whole life. So that's just accelerating. Obviously, I think probably if you haven't seen Jensen's talk, it's excellent, and it really shows how much AI is advancing, and it's advancing on the hardware front, on the software front, in terms of data. There's like the new sort of thing is synthetic data, because we've actually run out of all the books, and you literally run out of you take the entire internet and all books ever written, and all interesting videos, like you don't need 1,000 cat videos that are exactly the same, but all the interesting videos, and you sort of distill that down into tokens, essentially bits of information, and we've now exhausted all of basically the cumulative sum of human knowledge has been exhausted in AI training. That happened basically last year. And so the only way to then supplement that is with synthetic data, where the AI it'll sort of write an essay, or it'll come up with a thesis, and then it will grade itself, and sort of go through this process of self-learning with synthetic data, which is always challenging, because how do you know how do you know if it hallucinated the answer or it's a real answer? So it's challenging to find the ground truth, but it is pretty wild that AI at this point has run out of all human knowledge to train on, which is crazy.
I know that you're building for Grok the largest AI center on the planet. And
we already have, yeah. It's an operation.
Microsoft is planning $80 billion, where I used to work for a while. But
that's a lot of money by anyone's standards, really,
But what is it going to mean? I did a poll, and we asked, is AI making a difference in your life today? 13% said yes. And they said, in 5 years from now, will AI make a difference in your life? 87% expect in 5 years it will make a difference. What is
gigantic difference?
Okay, what is it going to do for people? Is it going to put
anything
them out
you want
of work or to work? Right?
AI will do anything you want, and even suggest things you never even thought of. So, I mean, AI really within the next few years will be able to do any cognitive task. It obviously begs the question: what are we all going to do? But pretty much any cognitive task that doesn't involve atoms, AI will be able to do within, I'd say, max 3 or 4 years, maximum. And then the another element of it is the robotics. Is that you need so you can't just be thinking. AI can't just be thinking in a data center. It's got to do things. So that's where you need the robots. So and you need self-driving cars, which obviously you've experienced, and that rate of improvement is exponential in how good the self-driving cars are. We feel confident in passing the basically being better than human driving in about 3 months, basically Q2 of this year, we feel confident of passing, uh, having a probability of accident that is better than the average experienced driver. And then it'll keep going from there. Ultimately, I think it's going to be 10 times safer than a human driver, and then 100 times safer. Like it's to the point where really it just won't crash. Um, so and that's happening this year with Tesla. So Tesla, and this is a software update to our cars. So as you experienced yourself, it's the same car. It got a software update, and suddenly it's way smarter at driving.
Well, let me try a few timelines then, because look, I'm not the youngest guy around, so I want to
You look
be
young.
here for
Yes.
as much
I mean,
technology. Yeah,
my standards for what is young get older every year as I get older.
I used to build computers in kits, right? When you couldn't buy them yet, and I don't have to do that anymore. But
Yeah.
so self-driving, some timelines, self-driving cars, certified, government certified self-driving. You think will be within a year?
Well, I mean, there already are autonomous, in some regions, like Waymo has autonomous vehicles with no one in it, but they're limited to like a few cities in the U.S. The Tesla solution, which is a much more difficult path to go, but ultimately much more powerful, is a general solution to self-driving. So the Tesla software is just purely AI and vision. Doesn't rely on any expensive sensors, no lidars, no radars, or it doesn't even require knowing the area beforehand. Like you could have it drive someplace it's never been before, and no Tesla's ever been before. It could even be an alien planet. I mean, and the car will still work, still drive. So so that's this year,
And when can I get a home robot? Okay.
Right. Well, so that's the other element, is our humanoid robots. So I think probably most people, if not everyone, would like to have their own personal C-3PO R2-D2, and I actually think humanoid robots will be the biggest product ever in history by far.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just wild, because you can just say, well, every human is going to want one most likely, and some will want two, and then there'll be all of industry in terms of providing products and services. So that you have to say, what's the ratio of humanoid robots to humans? My guess is it's at least 3-to-1, 4-to-1, maybe 5-to-1. So we're talking about 20, 30 billion humanoid robots. And it's not even clear what money means at that point, or if there's any meaningful cap on the economy. I think at that point, assuming that things haven't gone awry, in the good AI scenario, I think we won't have universal basic income. We'll have universal high income.
So do you think 5 years for my first robot, or?
Well, for Tesla, our Optimus robot really it's unless somebody's got something secret we don't know about. Our Optimus robot is the most sophisticated humanoid robot in the world. It's got a hand that has 22 degrees of freedom. It